Hello, fellow time travelers. Today, we will introduce you to the Sikhs. I'm sure that seeing the character appearing on the screen brings a lot of things to your mind. And even for some of you, you will learn that this character you see before you is not a Muslim, but a Sikh. Still puzzled? Don't worry. I will introduce them to you from a historical perspective, of course, based on 3 authors. 2 French authors, shown on the screen, and the renowned Dr. Harjinder Singh Dilgir. When we talk about the history of the Sikhs, then who are the Sikhs? First of all, the term Sikh means disciple and is derived from the Sanskrit word Shiksha. Today, Sikhs follow Sikhism, a monotheistic religion that originated in the late 15th century in the Indian subcontinent. More specifically in Punjab, which today straddles India and Pakistan. Sikhism stems from the philosophical movement founded by a guru named Nanak, whose full title is Guru Nanak Sahib, and was later developed by his 9 successors. The sharpest among you will have noticed that there are a total of 10 gurus in the Sikh religion, so keep that in mind. Note that the term guru has frequently been misused in Western contexts, similar to other concepts and terms originating from the Indian subcontinent. Remember our special episode, Under the Petticoats of History, where we covered various topics. The Kama Sutra, which people in the West imagine as a racy magazine of sexual positions, but which is actually far from that. Guru is a Sanskrit term meaning teacher or guide. These individuals serve as both theologians and philosophers due to their combined spiritual and intellectual responsibilities. We are far from the image that some cult leaders have shown in our part of the world. Without going too much into the details of Sikh spirituality, as we mentioned earlier, it is a monotheistic religion that comes from Hinduism and is inspired in some aspects by Islamic spirituality and in others by Hindu philosophy. To understand Sikhism's inspiration from Islam and Hinduism, context is needed. This influence dates back to the 8th century during the Umayyad Caliphate, as mentioned in the previous episode about the Battle of Poitiers. Islam grew increasingly prominent in northern India, particularly along the Indus River banks. Over the following centuries, there were many clashes with the Hindu kingdom before the latter, divided, were defeated. In northern India, by Islamized nomadic tribes between the 10th and 2nd centuries AD, by the 15th century, it was Muslim rulers who governed the area that included Punjab. They would all later be swept away by Babur, whose real name was Zahiruddin Muhammad, a descendant of Tamerlane. Babur thus founded the Mughal Empire, not the Mongol Empire. Note the difference in the 16th century. The rulers of this empire mainly followed Sunni Islam, with the notable exception of Emperor Akbar, who founded the short-lived Dini Ilahi, a syncretism mainly of Hinduism and Islam. But that's another fascinating subject. Let's return to the Sikhs and their lesser-known, primarily spiritual history. Things changed at the beginning of the 17th century, when the 5th Sikh guru, Guru Arjan, founder of the Harmandir Sahib, or Golden Temple, which is a holy place of Sikhism, is tortured. In 1606, Guru Arjan Dev Ji was executed on the orders of Mughal Emperor Jahangir, son of Akbar. So the question is why these troubles happened to him. According to some accounts, he refused to submit to Emperor Jahangir, which involved concessions regarding his religious positions. Or it was because he unfortunately associated with Jahangir's rebellious son. Several clues suggest that these two elements likely overlapped. His death marked a turning point for the Sikhs, making him the first Sikh martyr in history and exposing them to reprisals from Emperor Jahangir. He also rebelled twice against his father, who turned out to be much less tolerant than him. Teenage crises were indeed spectacular back then, as they could occur at any age and sometimes more than once. Before his death, Guru Arjan, sensing the danger, named his son Har Gobind as his successor. He became the 6th Sikh guru and had to adopt a spiritual and temporal approach to defend himself and the Sikh community. However, it was only in 1699, under the 10th guru, Guru Gobind, that the Sikhs would organize themselves as a true military force in order to defend themselves against increasingly aggressive and intolerant Muslim rulers. Sikhism was thus firmly pushed in a more political direction, no longer limited to the philosophy of life and spirituality initially developed by Guru Nanak. The height of repression against non-Muslims within the Mughal Empire would take place under Aurangzeb, an overly devout emperor whose extreme religious fervor would spark numerous rebellions throughout the empire. I wrote an excellent article on the Maratha uprising using Indian and Western sources. I had the privilege of visiting the valley where one of the most remarkable Maratha triumphs occurred. It's an absolutely fascinating epic to read, and the link is in the description. In 1699, Guru Gobind founded the Khalsa to serve as the spiritual and military backbone of the community. This shows how times have changed for our friends today. The Khalsa is roughly made up of all Sikhs who have been initiated by receiving the Amrit, which is the equivalent of a baptism, if we wanted to draw an analogy with Christianity. During the ceremony, Sikhs vow to wear the 5 Ks, 5 symbolic items starting with K. Michel de la Outre describes them as Kesha, uncut hair and beard; Kanga, the comb that holds the hair for hygiene; Kirpan, a sword or a dagger; Kara, a metal bracelet; Kacha, a pair of short trousers. This item was originally designed for military use, as the short trousers improved combat mobility, whether on horseback or on foot. After the Amrit, men receive the title Singh, which means lion, and women receive the title Kaur, which means prince, with the symbolic goal, it seems, of putting women on equal footing with men. In theory, one can be Sikh without being initiated. However, in that case, the individual does not wear any of the 5 Ks and is not part of the Khalsa. The Khalsa's establishment concludes the founding cycle of Sikhism, which had been evolving under the guidance of the 10 gurus, by replacing them with an institution whose guru is no longer a person, but a book, the Holy Guru. The Khalsa must follow the philosophy established by the successive gurus while fulfilling a political and military duty imposed by the realities of the time. The last 2 elements are crucial for understanding the Sikh identity observed today. After this, a violent conflict started with the Muslim rulers, which the Sikhs slowly won, to the extent of establishing a Sikh confederation. The Sarkar-e-Khalsa, a powerful independent state, emerged at the cost of friction with their former Muslim rulers and neighbors. This state only disappeared with the British arrival, who had great difficulty overcoming it. Due to their state's modernization and the profound, firmly rooted military culture of this people, whose origin you now comprehend. The Sikhs would later form elite regiments in the service of the British Raj, during which time their boldness and effectiveness in combat became world-renowned. In recent times, Sikhs clashed with independent India under Indira Gandhi's government, the daughter of the renowned Indian Prime Minister. Nehru, a close associate of Mahatma Gandhi, and husband of the fierce Jahangir Gandhi, who is not directly related to Mahatma Gandhi. Let it be said that the Sikhs, and more specifically the Sikh nationalist movement, are seeking to re-establish an autonomous or even independent state dedicated to them and over which they would have full authority. Indira Gandhi's refusal led to a bloody confrontation, most tragically resulting in Operation Blue Star in June. In 1984, the revolt ended. However, the violent event partially destroyed the Holy Golden Temple, founded by the 5th Guru mentioned earlier. Ironically, the general leading this operation was Sikh, and Indira Gandhi was assassinated by her bodyguards a few months later. Who were Sikhs? We are only scratching the surface of their fascinating history, but I hope it has allowed you to discover or rediscover this community that we have today, the joy of encountering them worldwide, even in our Francophone areas. From now on, when you come across a sight in the street or during future travels that I wish for you, you'll have a fond thought for us, won't you? I'll finish by thanking both the amazing team around me and you, our followers. There you go, dear friends. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comments if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to share it with others so they can enjoy it too. It's free and makes us very happy. Links to the website, social media, and Typee are in the description. Enjoy reading and enjoy the culture. See you very soon.